So, after the dust has settled and another season is gone, we're here with Emily Campbell to give us our end of season review. Emily, how have you found the season so far this year?
Well, look, it was up and down, to be honest. Let's say we didn't get off to the best start because of all this off-season with Kim Duthie. That ruined, I believe, the first half of the season.
And in New Zealand as well.
Yeah, exactly. In New Zealand, things didn't, really go too well. So basically our pre-season, off-season, whatever you want to call it, got off to a very bad start, let's just say.
And what happened in round two?
Round two, sadly, things were not getting better as one of our key players, our ex-captain Lenny Hayes, went down and sadly came down with a knee injury, and he was out the whole season. So I hope Lenny Hayes recovers well over the break and he comes back next season, because I cannot wait to see him play. He's a champion.
And would you agree with many people that after Lenny Hayes went down, many people thought that St. Kilda's season was shot and we had no chance at all?
Absolutely, I totally agree. People like, no way, they cannot make the finals. It's going to be a shit season. That's what most people said.
And what do you think about the move to Seaford? The players had a very negative view of the move, even though the facilities were fantastic. They didn't like the travel time and...
Look, yeah, I can understand that because they were so used to Moorabbin and they all lived in Brighton, Sandringham, so it was really under 10 minutes of travelling. And I think a lot of them found it hard, driving there and back, because a lot live in the city, plus with peak hour traffic taking even over an hour, and some of them were really tired. But look, at the end of the day, that's with any job, even people who work in an office. Some people have to travel an hour or two, but I'm sure they'd get used to it. And I believe that the Seaford training ground is fantastic there. It's new, and I think now it's not so much of an issue.
Yeah, and what do you think about Ross Lyon, or as many people now call him, Tosser Lyon? What do you think about him right from the start of the season saying an era is over?
I think that's absolutely shocking that a coach would say that. I mean, you have to have faith in your team, and really, I don't think by that comment he clearly didn't have faith that we could do it again. And I think with his attitude, some of the players started thinking we can't do it. This is what our coach said, we can't do it anymore. In 2009, by far, we were the best. We were the best team in the competition. We lost 2 games. And every player had a fantastic season. It was each and every one of them were just unbelievable. And disappointingly, we lost to Geelong that grand final due to some of the missing of the easy goals, and we should have won. And really I just think with what Ross was saying, it's wrong for a coach to say that, because, it just shows that he doesn't care about his team, pretty much.
And when do you think the season turned around?
Basically, it turned around once we won. Before winning against Melbourne, our players decided to hold a meeting. This was clearly just the players' decision. The ex-coach Ross had nothing to do with it. They all said, we've got to have a meeting. They discussed everything from the off-season, the things that, were going wrong, individual problems, just everything. They discussed everything. And after that meeting, like I said, we played the Demons. We won, and that was our very first win of the season. And I think since that win, the players started thinking, it's coming, we can do it. But I really think they started having that self-belief when Brendan Goddard just got knocked out
against Fremantle.
Yes, exactly.
In Perth.
That Fremantle game in Perth, he got knocked out. Then he did this salute to the crowd, and all of a sudden there was just this moment of we can do it. This belief just came back since Brendan did that salute, and I think Brendan kind of gave the message that it's not over, we can do it, and the players had this feeling inside of them that no, it's really not over, and we killed them over there. We thrashed them. I remember seeing that game, and it was unbelievable. And since then, we were winning games. We were slowly climbing up the ladder.
So we were really up and about after Brendan went down.
Absolutely, we were, and we were winning, and we were fighting our way to get up into the 8 and to make the finals. We just didn't want to. We didn't want the public to think that, oh, St Kilda won't get to the finals. They didn't want that, and we climbed our way up into the 8 and
so
we made
basically, our playing list is a very, very proud playing list, and has a lot of honesty and integrity and.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Sarah. I'm with you on that 100%.
What did you initially think when Jimmy Gwilt went down?
Look, that was a bit of a worry when Gwilty went down. I was a bit, scared because, he's one of our best backmen. He's, him and Sam Fisher are unbelievable. But you know what? With the replacement of Raf Clark, we did fine. Raf has really improved. This is very sad with a lot of the public, and even sadly St Kilda supporters that bag him and say he can't play footy just if he makes a mistake, because there are times when even our top players have played bad and they've dropped the ball or they've been caught tackling and they don't get bagged for it. But Raf Clark, I believe he's improved a lot, and he's been taking good marks. He's been really getting in front of the player. He's become a lot more confident. So good on you, Raf.
And his run has been amazing.
Oh, he can run down the midfielder. He's very fast. He's fantastic.
So what happened when we finally made the 8 and we stayed in the 8 and we played a final?
Basically, that final was over before the game was played. Basically, Ross Lyon, as we know now, resigned, and obviously he did it before he told the players, and he said that he was not going, and basically that game against Sydney, he just didn't care. He didn't care because he wasn't going to coach the Saints anymore, and the game was literally over.
Before it began.
Yeah, as I said, that's exactly right, Sarah.
So, Ross Lyon's deficiencies were very clear in that game, by poor decision making. And what do you think of his poor decision making?
Basically, I think Ross has made shocking decisions throughout the years he's been coaching, especially when it came to grand finals. I'll give you a good example. In the 2009 grand final when we played Geelong, the year when we should have won, when we only had 2 losses of that season, we were the favourite from the premiership. Basically, I reckon we would have won that game if he let Max Hudson play. Now, Maxie Hudson was fit enough to play. He has already played in a grand final. Therefore, if he knew what it was like to be in a grand final, why didn't they play him? He was fit, and it was his last year. Everyone knew he was going to retire, and it was just so unfair that he didn't play. Also, Luke Ball.
And just on Maxi, mind you, he was the best defender in the competition for many, many years.
Absolutely. He was just so hard at the ball. He was unbelievable, and it was a shocking decision, and a lot of St Kilda supporters are disgusted with that decision he made, along with Luke Ball. As I was going to say, that Luke Ball was by far one of our best midfielders, one of our best players. He was on the bench for most of the grand final.
He was also a past captain too.
Exactly, he was. I remember even earlier on in his career where he made his debut, he was a captain at such a young age, and he was basically, Ross was very unfair to him. Not just the grand final, but in other games. He wouldn't even let Luke play the whole game, and which put him in a very difficult position. He loved his teammates, he loved the club, but what was the point of him staying there if his coach wasn't going to treat him fairly? And due to this,
give him the respect he deserves.
Exactly, Sarah. He didn't get the respect that he deserved, which made him decide to leave and go to Collingwood, where he's starring. Mind you, he actually kicked the winning goal to get into the grand final. It's so good for Luke. He's starring at Collingwood, but at the same time, his heart is still with the St Kilda players. Like when we lost the second grand final, you could see, look, Luke was excited that he was playing for a premiership team, but at the same time, you could see the look in his eyes. You could see it, that it's not right. It should be me playing with St Kilda. We should have won, kind of thing. I should be playing with St Kilda, and St Kilda should have won the grand final. And we all know that was the biggest mistake that Ross ever made. I can't believe it. I knew something like this would happen. It really did not surprise me.
So now that Ross Lyon's back, would you have Luke Ball back at St Kilda?
Absolutely. Who wouldn't? It'd be stupid not to even ask him to come back.
So, in saying that, we're out of the finals. Do you think it's a good thing that we got out of the finals early?
Look, Sarah, I honestly believe that I think that we were better off not making the grand final this year, because what if we did make it all the way? What if the players got really afraid that, oh no, what if we lose? What if they lost it? Then the players could have become depressed. Bad drinking habits could have started. Anything could have happened. Things could have gone wrong. And I just think, look, the players really need to rest, relax, get away from the city, spend time with their friends and family, their partners. Just don't think about football. Just be positive. Just relax and enjoy. Enjoy the time off.
So be normal people for once.
Exactly. Be normal people, Go to the beach, Go out shopping, just relax, sit by the pool, read a book, spend time with friends and family, like I said, and so they'll come.
Because after all, friends and family are the most important people in our lives.
Absolutely. You're not wrong there, Sarah. But I also believe it's a great thing because the players will come back fresh in 2012. They'll be ready to start pre-season, be ready to get on the field on round one, where we're going to start, and I believe next year, either 2012 or 2013, we will win the flag.
So moving on to the most important part of the season, the best and fairest. Emily and I tend to go to the best and fairest every year because we love the night. It's a great night to end the football season on a high, along with the players and their partners, and just have a real good time and look over the season. So, Emily, what do you think of the best and fairest this year? Who do you think's going to win and why?
Nick Del Santo for sure. He's the favourite. He's had his best season by far with, at least over 27 possessions weekly. He's been fantastic every game. There haven't been games where he's performed poorly. He's just starred every week.
And it's surprising after the off-season turmoil that he had.
Absolutely. Like, he didn't let the off-season get to him. He was like, just forget about it, focus on footy, just show them what you've got. And with that positive attitude, look what's happened. He's been the best all year, and he's been fantastic.
And he's also a smoky for the Brownlow as well.
Absolutely. Look, Dell, out of all the players, will definitely poll very well. I'm sick of hearing Chris Judd every year. It's about time Dell wins it because it's deserved.
And what do you think Julie will be wearing on Monday night?
Julie will be wearing something absolutely stunning. She'll look absolutely gorgeous. She'll be dressed very well. Some of the girls tend to dress really skimpy, really over the top, and really unattractive dresses, but Julie will be dressed very sophisticated, look very, very beautiful, as she always does.
And our other best players for the season?
Stevie Milne, the best goal kicker. His goal kicking has been accurate, and he can kick from a mile and from all these different strange angles and still get a goal. It's unbelievable. Milne will poll up very well in the best and fairest, as well as Sam Fisher. He's been the best backman all year. He's just always grabbing our marks. He's always saving them. Fisher will do very well. I wouldn't be surprised if he came second or third after Dell. I'd like to also mention that Ben McAvoy is a superstar. He is so tall and he just grabs those marks. He just goes for the ball, and he's so good at marking the ball. He's just unbelievable for someone that's 22, 23. He's got so many years of footy in him, and he's going to be a champion. I mean, he already is. For someone that young, he's unbelievable.
Jack Stevens
is fantastic as well. He's one of the other youngsters who is doing unbelievably well. He can score ripper of goals like Milne. He can run so fast. He's fantastic, Jack, I must say.
And you mentioned earlier Raf Clark's season. How have you found that? I've been totally blown away by the consistency he has had this year, and the fact that he has taken the next step, and he's just playing really, really good football.
I totally agree with you on that, Sarah. He's been playing fantastic in the back. He's been taking good marks, and he's been running through the midfield. I definitely believe that Raf has improved so much. He's really come a long way.
And we saw against Carlton, I think it was, Zach Dawson was played in the forward line. Would you like to see more of that next year?
I think Zach is seriously better off in the forward line. I just think in the back line he's not really that confident, because there are weeks that he will get in front of his player and mark, but there's many times where I have seen him not get in front and just let his opponent get the ball, and it's just been too easy. And I just think that Zach is so much better off in the forward line because he looks more comfortable, because when the ball comes to him, he just goes for it and marks it, whereas in the back, I don't see that happening.
And does Cozzy deserve the criticism that he gets week in, week out?
Absolutely not. It absolutely disgusts me that he gets suspended for 3 or 4 weeks when he doesn't even, do anything or really, grab the player or, trip them or anything. He doesn't do anything, and he gets reported. Like, when was it one of the Collingwood players that tripped him, and the Collingwood player got nothing, and it was disgusting. Really, it was wrong, but unfortunately with AFL we can't do anything about it. But I do believe people bag him, and it's not right, because by far I think he has had a better season than Rewalt. I think he's been kicking more accurately. That's not to say Nick can't kick goals at all. No, I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying Cozzy's goal kicking has been much more accurate, and he's been taking really good marks. And towards the end of the season, I think Cozzy did play a lot better, definitely.
And with all the shit that he's had to deal with, like the head injury and injury after injury, any other player would have retired a long time ago, but not Cozzy.
Yeah, absolutely. Cozzy's the one that's not going to go until we win that flag. He's just going to keep staying there. And you know what? I think that's the attitude of a lot of the players. Like, look at, Milne's 31, same with Lenny, and you know what? They're fit, and they're gonna stay at the club until we win that flag.
And Cozzy, along with others, have turned down big offers from Greater Western Sydney. Do you believe that we will keep Brendan Goddard at the club?
Absolutely. BJ's happy as ever. He loves all his teammates. He loves the club. Why would he go there? Why would he go to a club that he doesn't really have a love for and where he doesn't even know anybody? That's not like BJ to just walk out and do that.
BJ's a fiercely loyal person, and he's so passionate. Do you think that there's a possibility to make him captain next year?
Absolutely. I think what we need, as well as having, a new coach and a game plan, we need another captain. As well as Nick, we can have Brendan. He'd be fantastic. And it's good to have two, because if one of them, is having not so good week, if there are personal problems, with one of the players, one of the captains, just say if Brendan's not going through a good time or Nick isn't, they can take over, like they can swap it around. And I think that's a great thing. And having another captain, it's good for support. I think it's not such a bad idea. We did it in the past. I remember we had Lenny and we had Luke and we had Lenny and Nick. And, I think it worked out really well. So, yeah.
And there's been a lot of criticism of Nick Riewoldt this year. However, knowing the person Nick is and how passionate he is, he'll bounce back better, stronger, and bigger than ever next year. Is the criticism warranted? Yes. But it is harsh.
Look,
but he is the captain of our club.
That is understandable.
And we
basically, look, with Nick, Sarah, as I wanted to say, he's been going through a very rough time with, personal issues within the family, and, it doesn't give the right of people to, bag him and everything. Like, we all can see that his accuracy of goal kicking, he hasn't been playing brilliantly, but I think that is definitely due to the fact that he's captain, and he
does put a lot of pressure on himself.
Absolutely, he put so much pressure on himself because he was having, there were personal problems going on with his family, and basically he's not going through a really good time. But I just think Nick thinks that he can handle it on his own, and clearly,
and sometimes he needs to take a step back and realise that, hey, I can't handle this on my own.
Exactly, and I've been seeing that.
I need help.
And I just think that Nick, in my opinion, should have stepped down to either Brendan Goddard or Sam Fisher and said, look, I need help. I'm not going through a good time, that, stuff's going on with my family, personal things, and I can't do it. Can you help me out by taking over? And I think that
don't get us wrong. He is a fantastic captain, a fantastic leader of the club, and a fantastic person.
That I agree with you, Nick.
But he just has too much pressure on him at the moment. And joint captaincy with Brendan Goddard is definitely the way to go.
That is absolutely good. And look, Brendan, I think, would, like I said, would be good to captain along with him. But look, even if it's Lenny Hayes or Sam Fisher, those players who also had lots of experience could also be good at it. But I just think Nick needs to stop putting pressure on himself, and he really needs to, let it out and say to his teammates, look, I can't do this. Can someone
I need your help.
I need your help. Can you help me? I just don't think he should be afraid to ask for that help. I know that Nick is that kind of person, and I just think that with the joint captaincy, I believe next year he will do a lot better and he will be back to his best performance.
And what do you think of the abuse that Stephen Milne has to cop week in, week out?
I think the abuse is absolutely disgusting. It's so appalling. And I mean, Stevie Milne is a fantastic person, a fantastic player. And, those people out there should really think before they speak. I mean, put yourself in, his children, his kids' position. His oldest child, Tyson, he goes to school and people abuse him and, bully him because of his father. And his father, he was not charged, therefore he's not guilty according to the Australian law. So why do people always have to attack him all the time and say horrible stuff? It's not true. They should get over it.
And it happened years ago too.
Oh, exactly.
Have you heard of the ad campaign that two very loyal St Kilda supporters are running?
Yeah, absolutely. I have, and I've just joined it, and I think it's a great thing, and I'm sure Milne would be so happy. I mean, he's already thrilled that we've all made this Milne magic sign that we take to the footy every week, and he's very happy with that, and he really appreciates the support.
So, to anyone who wants to join it, how do they go about doing it?
By contacting Sarah or Matt, and they can just be a part of it. And
on Facebook?
Something. On Facebook, yes.
So that's Sarah's Medcraft and Matt Dunham on Facebook.
Exactly.
So Emily, wrapping up now, what words of wisdom do you have for the season 2012?
Look, I wish all the players all the very best. I believe that they can do it. like I said, take your time, just relax, just take a breath, relax over the break, enjoy with your friends and family, don't even think or talk about football, enjoy, relax, go on a holiday, come back fresh for pre-season training. And that, I think, usually happens, December, January, when it's the summer period. And then, basically just enjoy it, and you'll be ready. You'll be ready for your first victory in round 1 and many more throughout the season, and you can go all the way.
And a message to Ross Lyon at Fremantle.
Well, Ross, look, I'm happy that you've left. We needed a new coach for a long time, a coach that's going to believe in their players and that's actually going to listen to their players also make smart decisions, and also make a better game plan. So basically, all the best, Saints, for the year 2012, and I hope next year is going to be a better season, and you can do it. Just don't give up that belief. Don't think you can't do it. With your new coach, you're going to be convinced that you're going to be able to get the flag again. That belief will come back. Thank you. Go Saints!